Hi guys, time for lunch. We're beginning Ecclesiastes. The word of Koheleth, son of David, sovereign in Jerusalem. Futility, futility, says Koheleth. Futility, futility, all is futile. What does man gain from all his labor in which he toils under the sun? A generation passes away and a generation comes, but the earth stands forever. The sun also rises and the sun sets, and hurries back to its place where it arose. Go to the south and turning round to the north, turning, and on its rounds the wind returns. All the rivers run into the sea, yet the sea never overflows. To the place from which the river comes, there they return again. All matters are wearisome. No one is able to speak of it. The eye is not satisfied with seeing, nor the ear filled with hearing. What has been is what shall be. What has been done is what shall be done, and there is no new matter under the sun. Is there a matter of which it is said, "See, this is new"? It was here already, long ago. There is no remembrance of former ones, nor is there any remembrance of those that are to come by those who come later on. I, Koheleth, was sovereign over Yisrael in Jerusalem, and I set my heart to seek and search out by wisdom concerning all that has been done under the heavens. This evil task Elohim has given to the sons of man to be humbled by it. I have seen all the works that are done under the sun, and see, all was futile and feeding on wind. The crooked could not be straightened, and what is lacking could not be counted. So I spoke to my heart, saying, See, I have attained greatness, and have gained more wisdom than all who were before me in Jerusalem. And my heart has seen much wisdom and knowledge. And I set my heart to know wisdom, and to know madness and folly. I know that this too is feeding on wind. For in much wisdom is much grief, and he who increases knowledge increases suffering. I said in my heart, Come now, let me try you with rejoicing, and find out what is good. But see, that too was futile. I said of laughter, It is madness, and of rejoicing, what does it do? I searched in my heart how to stimulate my body with wine, while guiding my heart with wisdom, and how to lay hold on folly, until I could see what was good for the sons of men to do under the heavens all the days of their lives. I made my works great. I built myself houses. I planted vineyards for myself. I made gardens and parks for myself, and I planted all kinds of fruit trees in them. I made pools of water for myself, to water from them a plantation of growing trees. I brought male and female servants, and I came to have sons of the household also. I had great possessions of herds and flocks than all who were before me in Jerusalem. I also gathered for myself silver and gold and the treasures of sovereigns and of the provinces. I provided male and female singers for myself, and the pleasures of men, a woman and women. Thus I became great and increased more than all who were before me in Jerusalem. Also my wisdom remained with me. And all that my eyes desired I did not keep from them. I did not withhold my heart from any pleasure, for my heart rejoiced in all my labor. And this was my portion from all my labor. But when I looked on all the works that my hands had done, and on the labor in which I had toiled, see, all was futile and feeding on the wind, and there was no gain under the sun. And I returned myself to look at wisdom and madness and folly. For what would the man do who comes after the sovereign except what already has been done? Then I saw that wisdom is better than folly, as light is better than darkness. The wise one's eyes are in his head, but the fool walks in darkness. And I also knew that one event befalls them all. And I said in my heart, as the event of the fool, even so it befalls me. And why was I then more wise? Then I said in my heart, this also is futile. For there is no more lasting remembrance of the wise than of the fool, since in the days to come all is forgotten. And how does a wise man die? With a fool. And I hated life, because the work that was done under the sun was evil on me, for all is futile in feeding on wind. And I hated all my labor, in which I had toiled under the sun, because I leave it to a man who would come after me. And who knows whether he is wise or foolish? Yet he shall rule over all my labor, in which I toiled, and in which I have shown myself wise under the sun. That too is futile. So I turned my heart, and despaired of all the labor in which I had toiled under the sun. For a man might labor with wisdom, knowledge, and skill, yet he leaves his heritage to a man who has not labored for it. That too is futile and a great evil. For what does a man get for all his labor and strain of his heart with which he has toiled under the sun? For all his days are suffering, and his works grievous. Even in the night his heart takes no rest. That too is futile. A man could do no better but to eat and drink and enjoy himself in his labor. That too, I saw, was from the hand of Elohim. For who eats or who finds enjoyment without him? For he gives wisdom and knowledge and joy to a man who is good in his eyes. But to the sinner he gives the task of gathering and collecting to give to him who is good before Elohim. That too is futile and feeding on the wind. For every matter there is an appointed time, even a time for every pursuit under the heavens, a time to be born and a time to die, a time to plant and a time to uproot, a time to kill and a time to heal, a time to break down and a time to build up, a time to weep and a time to laugh, a time to mourn and a time to dance, a time to throw away stones and a time to gather stones, a time to embrace and a time to refrain from embracing, a time to seek and a time to lose, a time to keep and a time to throw away, a time to tear and a time to sow, a time to be silent and a time to speak, a time to love and a time to hate, a time for battle and a time for peace. What does the worker gain from his toil? I have seen the task Elohim has given to the sons of men to be humbled by it. He has made it all beautiful in its time, even the ages he has put in the hearts, except that no one finds out the work that Elohim does from beginning to end. I know that there is no good for them but to rejoice and to do good in their lives, and also that every man should eat and drink and enjoy the good of all his labor. It is a gift of Elohim. I know that whatever Elohim does is forever. There is no adding to it, and there is no taking from it. Elohim does it, that men should fear before him. Whatever is has already been, and what shall be has been before. But Elohim seeks out what has been pursued. Then again, I saw under the sun, in the place of right ruling, wrongness was there. and in the place of righteousness, wrongness was there. I said in my heart, Elohim, judge the righteous and the wrong, for there is a time for every matter and for every work. I said in my heart, concerning the matter of the sons of men, Elohim selects them, so as to see that they themselves are beasts. For the event of the sons of men is also the event of beasts. One event befalls them. As one dies, so dies the other. Indeed, they all have one breath. Man has no advantage over beasts, for all is futile. All are going to one place, all came from the dust, and all return to dust. Who knows the spirit of the sons of men, which goes upward, and the spirit of the beast which goes down to the earth? So I saw that man could do no better but to rejoice in his own works, for that is his portion. For who would bring him to see what shall be after him?